Hello and welcome to day 2 of my Sweet Jar class to go. This is a class to go that I am featuring on my blog and YouTube channel this week, and you can earn the kit for this class to go for free simply by placing an order in my online store. All you need to do is place an order that is $50 before tax and shipping to earn the class to go for free. There are additional gifts for levels of $100 and $150, and you can check out all of that in yesterday's video or in the video description. This week I'm featuring the Sweet Jar bundle. This is such a cute punch bundle. I love punch bundles. This one punches out the jar, and there are so many different occasions that you can use this stamp set for. So we are going to feature this week, and it has been so much fun. Yesterday we made this adorable fun fold card with the little cookies. Happy birthday. So cute. And today I have another fun interactive card for you today. We are making this gorgeous card, and there's a little hidden message when you pull the lid out of the jar. It is so cute, so I can't wait to share this one with you. So let's go ahead and jump right into making this. So let's start with our stamping. So you'll need to grab that half sheet of white that is in your kit for your stamping. And we're going to start with the jar, and I'm going to use Memento for this. We're just going to stamp this in black. Now, if you wanted to stamp it in pink, you could. In any color is fine. You could do it in the gray like we did yesterday. I'm just going to use black today. I'm going to stamp that near the edge of the cardstock so we can punch that out. All right, and that's it for our black. So I'm going to put this away before I stick my hand in it. And we're going to punch our jar out. And this is all we're going to need our scrap of white for today. So line up the punch. Remember, don't get anything. Don't get your pieces of your hands or your fingers in there. And we're going to punch that out. And so there's our jar. Now for our lid, we're going to stamp it and punch it on a piece of Melon Mambo. So you have this little piece in your card kit, and we're going to get some Melon Mambo ink. And we're going to stamp our lid on that. So Melon Mambo, and I'm going to go all the way to the bottom with our little lid there. That way we have plenty of room to hold. Actually, we're going to leave that up. We're going to stamp that, use that again. But with the punch, you have plenty of room to hold the paper, put it in so you have plenty of room to hold it, and you can line that up. Now, you're not going to need the rest of this Melon Mambo, so you can use that for anything else in future kits or future cards. So there is our little jar. Now, it's just occurring to me now that we probably should have stamped the contents of the jar before we punched it out, but excuse me, I think we'll be okay because our stamps are photopolymer. But I do encourage you to stamp stamp the whole jar before you punch it out. It will make it a little bit easier on you. Okay, so we're gonna use Pretty in Pink for the solid part, this kind of background. We're gonna use Pretty in Pink. I'm just gonna line that all the way up with the bottom of the jar. And perfect, so pretty. We're gonna leave this one out as well because we're gonna use that again. And then we're gonna grab those hearts. We're gonna use those in Melon Mambo. And we're just gonna stamp right over. We have all those floating hearts coming out of the jar. So pretty, right? Okay, so we have our jar lid. We have our jar bottom. There is a few more little pieces of stamping that we need to do. So in your kit, you're gonna have this little tiny piece of white. That is going to be for our little greeting piece. So let's go ahead and stamp that. So I'm going to start with my Pretty in Pink. I'm going to do Sending a Little Blank Your Way. So the stamp will have this little blank area so you can fill it in with whatever you want. Now I'm not going to go all the way to the top because we need to leave room to adhere our lid down. So I'm going to go maybe like a 1/4 inch from the top and put Sending a Little Bloop Your Way. Probably could have gone up a little more so you can see. This one is actually a little smaller than this one, but yours will be correct in your kit, I promise. I think I just grabbed a scrap. All right, let's grab Love from the stamp set, and I'm gonna pull this down just a little bit so I can kind of get over it and see it. Sending a little love your way. And we're going to stamp a couple little hearts here. And we'll stamp those right on the bottom, just like that. So cute, right? Oh, I love it. All right, let's put our Pretty in Pink ink away. We're done with that. We have a piece of DSP. I think this one is called Woven Textures. This is released in our online exclusives not long ago. And we're going to use that same heart stamp that we just used on the bottom of our little tag. And we're going to stamp some hearts on this DSP. Now, I grabbed the little 3 cluster of heart. There is also in the stamp set a little cluster of 2 hearts, which I used on my sample here, and I used that on my tag here. But I made it work with just our little cluster of 3 hearts. So you can choose to use both hearts. You can choose to use just the one, whatever you want to do. All right, that is it for our ink. We're done stamping, so let's go ahead and start adhering this together. So we have all of our pieces here. All right, I'm gonna put my jar off to the side for now. Let's put this piece back in our card so we don't lose it. All right, I'm gonna grab my liquid glue. This is the easiest way I've found. It's the strongest way too because this is gonna get a lot of pulling. I'm just going to put a very thin bead of glue along the very top of our little tiny jar piece, our little greeting piece, and I'm going to adhere the lid to our jar right on top of that. Make sure that it's straight, that it's even. And give that a little burnish just to make sure that that is all stuck down. We're gonna set that aside to dry for a minute while we start assembling the rest of our card. We want that to be nice and set up before we start pulling on it. All right, let's stick our DSP down. We have a piece of Pretty in Pink that this DSP is gonna go down onto. All the measurements are in the video description. They're also listed on my blog, so you can check that out. Grab my Pretty in Pink piece. Now, if you're not a pink girl, you could definitely make this card with shades of green or blue or purple, yellows, oranges, whatever you want. This would be adorable in any color, I think. All right, and we have a Melon Mambo card base that this is gonna go right down onto. And I'm gonna grab my bone folder and just give that a good burnish. All right, now I didn't want my jar just floating in the middle of the card, so I have a piece of crumb cake, and this is going to be kind of like a little table. So we're just going to set this down, just make it even as possible, straight as possible. Looks good, just like that. Okay, now let's talk about how to adhere our jar down. Now obviously because we have this little tag going in the back here, we can't have a dimensional right in the middle because that's not going to work. So we're going to be very strategic on where we place our dimensionals. So I'm going to cut 3 strips of my edge pieces here, just some small strips, and I'm going to put them, I'm going to put one along the bottom so that our little note doesn't fall all the way through, and I'm using the straight edge on the inside, so the little kind of, you know, teeth edge, the pokey edges are facing out, and I'm going to put one along this side, and I'm just going to make sure that I have plenty of room, and I'm just kind of lay that there. We're not going to adhere it down. I'm going to put one along this side, and I think we'll have plenty of room. But that will keep your tag from falling out. We're kind of just making a little wall for it. So you just want to go on the 2 sides and the bottom. And then we will stick our jar down, just like this. And then our little tag will slide right in, just like that. Now, if you want to, you can make a little indication to tell your recipient that they need to lift up the jar. You can add a little arrow. We have some stamp sets that say like pull. You can put that on there too. You can tie a little bow on it to indicate that they need to pull it up. However you want to indicate that they need to pull that little tag out. It's your choice, whatever you want to do. But we have our little tag in the jar, and we are going to finish up this card with some rhinestones. These are our gorgeous rhinestones. I'm looking for my take your pick tool. There it is. If your order is $150, you're going to earn an entire package of these rhinestones for free in your kit, and you will have plenty of rhinestones for future projects, as well as everything you need for the class to go. All right, so it completes today's card. And if you wanted to add a little note inside, little stamped note inside, you absolutely could. If you wanted to add more hearts, more jars, whatever you wanted to do, you absolutely could. But I hope you loved today's card. It is just a super cute little fun interaction card, and you can put anything you want on these little notes. If you don't want to stamp, if you just want to write a little hidden message, that would be cute. A whole little line of these jars with something different in each jar would also be super cute. But I hope you love this card. I loved making it with you, so make sure to join me tomorrow for day 3 of the Sweet Jar Class to Go, and make sure to subscribe to my channel so you never miss a video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.